Welcome back. You're still watching ZigWheels and our special coverage of all the action around the Indian Grand Prix. Now, with all that fast-paced racing action at the Bodh International Circuit, one can't help but wonder what would have happened if something went wrong. Well, in Formula One and motorsports in general, one thing is quite clear. Safety is of the utmost priority. Formula One is a sport that requires its drivers to be living on the very edge, maximizing speed and control on track to extract every last millisecond. The same can be said about motorsports in general. However, sometimes in the pursuit of the perfect lap, things can go very wrong. With the recent deaths of MotoGP rider Simoncelli and IndyCar driver Dan Wheldon, safety has once again taken center stage.
For us as drivers, particularly with Dan's, because with Marco obviously he was on two-wheelers, which is slightly different. The risks are a lot higher on two-wheelers, but particularly with Dan, it really is a massive shock, or was a massive shock when I heard the news. I literally couldn't speak.
In 1994, Ayrton Senna's death at the San Marino Grand Prix was a changing moment for Formula One, with the FIA taking an in-depth look at safety in an F1 car. Over the years, what resulted was a slew of safety measures that have since helped save the lives of many others. So what are some of these life-saving safety innovations? Mercedes GP Petronas driver Nico Rosberg shed some light on it for us.
Safety is always a big topic for me in my sport, and it starts with so many details. Even my clothes that I wear to drive the racing car are all fireproof. The underwear, the helmet, then I put on this hands device on my neck, which holds back my head if I have an impact in the front. So there are a lot of things that have been set up to improve our safety in the car. It's a fine line. You have to be aggressive to be able to win, but to get to the end and to win, you have to drive in a certain manner that you don't have any accidents.
Today, safety in an F1 car is no longer about just wearing a helmet.
Well, the safety, no matter whether it's on road cars or on public roads or on racetracks, it has to be an integrated approach. That means that if you just put the helmet on, it's not enough. You need it from the front nose of the car until the end of all possibilities, which is with the helicopters there, that the track is designed the right way, that the runoff area is big enough. It's the whole lot, and that's what changed so much.
So what is it that keeps these on-the-edge drivers on the safe side?
On our Mercedes GP Petronas Formula One car, there's a safety cell around the driver, which is also called a monocoque. It's a crash protection structure to absorb energy in the event of an impact.
Of course, that's just a start. A whole host of other elements go a long way in keeping the drivers safe.
Head and neck trauma remain one of the worst single injuries that we can experience as Formula One drivers. As a result, the helmets have been developed extremely lightly in recent years, and you can just feel, now it's like 1,200 or 1,300 grams, and that's just amazing, considering that all the things that they put in here, the carbon, the visor, and all the rest of it. So we experience extreme G-forces in cornering, so already for my neck muscles, that's a big help. But not only that, it helps extremely in the case of an accident, because in the accidents we can get whiplash sort of injuries, where the head just smacks over or something, and the helmet being lighter really reduces our injuries severely.
While motor racing does inherently carry a risk of injury, innovation and lessons learned over the years have brought the margin of error down to nearly a naught. Case in point, since that tragic day in 1994, no other F1 driver has ever had to face such a fate. Now, in the event of any untoward incident on the track, there's a specialized force of men and women that respond to an accident, keeping things in order. Of course, I'm talking about track marshals here. Now, not only is it something that you can volunteer for, but it's also an innovative way of getting a trackside view of all the action.
At 7 a.m. on a Monday morning, the start of the week blues are at their peak. But as the first early morning views of the Bodh International Circuit open up, This team of soon-to-be official track marshals is smiling their way towards a 5-kilometer walk to study the track.
With so many different people here from so many different professions, so many different walks of life, the fact is it doesn't really matter, because once you get through this tunnel, you leave everything behind and it's a fresh education from here altogether.
And it's the veteran motorsport marshal Sudev Barar who'll be taking a lot of these first-timers through the various requirements that go along with each of their posts on the track.
What is the role of track marshal? Basically is one, signaling the driver who's driving his vehicle at amazing speed of any danger which he can't see. The other role is that in case perchance something happens, then we are able to render assistance to the car or the driver as early as possible.
While each track marshal post will be overseen by the official F1 race control team, watching out for incidents, studying exactly how drivers and cars react at different points of the track will be an education equivalent to a PhD. With the most basic of amenities on offer, the training will be a far shot from the luxury that surrounds the F1 lifestyle. You come on your own expense and are provided 3 meals and a shared roof. Yet the inspiration takes many forms.
You know, with motorsports growing now, and especially with F1 happening, we are all looking forward to actually marshalling for other races as well.
And this certifies you for that?
And this certifies us for that, and also we can go to any Grand Prix in the world and volunteer as marshals for that as well.
You can't have somebody freak out suddenly when they see two cars crashing and just freeze. You know, it's very important not to go into shock yourself.
Well, let's hope there are no crashes, but
let's hope there are no crashes, so that if nothing else, you know, we guys get to sit peacefully, watch the race.
If anything, these marshals can be sure that they would have covered every possible view of the Buddh circuit that even many seated in the most exclusive seats would only see on screen.
Time now for our second and final pit stop. Lots more coming up after the break.